successfully.
और चतुर्थ और अंतिम चरण का भी प्रज्वलन हो चुका है.
The liquid engine has come alive over 400 kilometers above the earth, beginning a burn that will last for more than 6 minutes. During this phase, the vehicle will steadily accelerate from about 6.68 kilometers per second to nearly 7.64 kilometers per second, delivering the precise velocity needed to achieve its planned 450 by 450 kilometers circular low Earth orbit at a 60-degree inclination.
और यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि प्रक्षेपण नियंत्रण केंद्र में उत्साह का एक प्रसंग आ चुका है और आपके ऑन बोर्ड प्रक्षेपक पर्दों पर हम देख सकते हैं कि पेलोड्स या जो उपग्रह हैं उनका एक चित्र. यहाँ पे सारे उपग्रह अपने स्थान पर स्थित हैं.
That's right, Akhil. We've also had seamless transition from the
S4 performance
to
normal.
the Bogor station, and now we are receiving strong telemetry from the Bogor as well as the Yatharga stations in Indonesia and Australia
Plus 11
respectively. The current altitude of the vehicle is 426 kilometers. Our target is near 450. We're traveling at 6.5 kilometers per second. And like we said earlier, OAM is essentially going to fire its Raman 2 engine for a cumulative burn time of nearly 6+ minutes. So this is the longest burning. It's the smallest in thrust, but it burns for the longest period of time. And it's all given to us by Raman 2, our main engine for this mission.
So Yash, it must be a really amazing feeling, right? I mean, you and your team worked on this engine to get it going, and it is finally taking us to space.
Yeah, it's a feeling that's really hard to describe. Me and my team, we worked on this engine to get it going, and it's finally taking us to space. This engine wasn't an easy design. Raman 2 generates 1500 newtons of thrust, and it employs 3 different types of cooling. As if one wasn't enough, we had to put in 3. So we have regenerative cooling, then we have radiative cooling, and we have film cooling. And all 3 of these need to work seamlessly in sync to deliver this phenomenal outcome. So I'm kind of glued to the screens right now. You might just see me peeking over to try to see what the chamber pressure, what the thrust, and what the temperatures are like. But I think I might have to hold for a bit and look at that data in a little while. So while I was talking about Raman 2 and how difficult it was to essentially design an engine this small, like I said, it's a relatively small engine, and the cooling design on this was exceptionally difficult to manage because the engine has to generate a lot of heat during combustion, and the temperatures can reach up to 2700 degrees. That's pretty hot for any metal or any material to sustain. In fact, many metals would just vaporize into thin air at those temperatures. So to make all of this work, we employ something known as regenerative cooling.
S4 performance normal.
Yeah, and we've gotten call out that the S4 performance is nominal. And so I was mentioning about the regenerative cooling, and the best way to understand this type of cooling is to imagine
Plus 14 minutes.
multiple tubes joined side by side and then arranged into a circular fashion to form the thrust chamber. And these tubes, they need to be very, very thin to exchange heat effectively, which means that manufacturing is usually a challenge. And even after the temperatures would still be too high for normal metals to handle. And for this exact purpose, we employ something known as film cooling. And even though it sounds like a fancy name, it just involves injecting fine jets of fuel along the walls of the chamber to effectively add a barrier of colder gas between the combustion chamber and the metal walls. And essentially, one question I get asked very often is, if it's like that, then why is it called regenerative cooling, right? The whole thought process is the tiny tubes that we just talked about. Those
S4
tubes,
performance normal.
Plus 15 minutes.
और यहाँ पर हमको मिशन नियंत्रण केंद्र से संकेत मिल रहे हैं कि चतुर्थ चरण का भी परफॉर्मेंस सामान्य है और अभी यान 450 किलोमीटर की ऊंचाई तक पहुंच चुका है जो कि उसका निर्धारित कक्षा है और कोस्ट फेज प्रारंभ है.
जी हाँ, and it's traveling at 7.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of 450